when you give somebody that kind of power, a fool like this, he don't believe in lines. He believe in obliterating lines. Forget crossing lines, going to the edge. Nah, he like, yo, I'm about to hop, skip, jump, parachute, bungee jump the fuck over these lines.
How much longer are we going to let this kind of thing happen before people are just forcing entry into buildings? I mean, frankly, like the idea that a dude in a polo can keep out elected Congress people is absurd. And it is proof positive of exactly the kind of thing that we go around the world saying we're trying to prevent through military action, right? All the time. We go around the world talking about anti-democratic action and why the United States is here to save the day. And in real time, we are watching that exact thing happen in the United States when Elon Musk and his cronies are given full access to data that otherwise people with high security clearances would have access to. This is, I mean, it's unprecedented, but it's terrifying. How are 334 million people being held hostage by two dudes? That's what's happening right now. Like, seriously, how does South Africa's land law affect us at all? Beyond that, if the 3 billionaires supporting you are all South African, why are we surprised by that? Like, I don't understand this. I do not understand this, because if this happened on a much smaller level, the response to this would be overwhelming and would be violent. Let's be honest. If two dudes came onto a block and tried to tell the people who live there how they were going to live, they would get forced off. And I understand he's the elected president of the United States, but I cannot understand this. How are we sitting here trying to apply rationalization to the patently irrational? What is the response beyond revolution? I don't understand it. Like, seriously, what do we do? Because it does not make sense to me that two people are holding an entire country hostage in a country that purports to have a history of standing up against tyrants. This is patent tyranny. I mean, I don't understand what we do beyond taking different action, because I don't understand how we're at this point, and I don't understand how we're all allowing it to continually being pushed out, the bounds, right? That's why all these executive orders are coming out. It's all about testing the law and seeing how far you can go, and the courts are not going to respond quickly enough. I don't understand, like, how this is happening and how we're watching it happen in real time, and we're not responding differently.
First of all, it's happening, and this is for all of you folks, FBA, B1 or not, who sat here and said, oh, y'all are shills, y'all are all in the pocket of the Democrats, y'all are all covering up. And so, oh, he's going to make America great again. And so what happens? Casey loses in Pennsylvania. Sherrod Brown loses in Ohio. Okay? That's 2 seats right there. Then you have the other losses. So the Democrats lost the Senate. You had you had political gerrymandering in North Carolina. Those 3 seats in North Carolina, that's how Republicans have the majority in the House. And so you have no lever of government that can actually hold them accountable. Because the Republicans, they ain't saying nothing. And they're not gonna say anything.
No, they're encouraging it.
Yes, they're not gonna say a word.
There's no greater motivator than fear. Period. And our government is not afraid of us. Period. And that is why they are dismantling the government before our very eyes and allowing pushing us into the point where we're trying to rationalize it and, try to fit it into this box of civility. That is not going to work. It's not going to work. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not calling for anarchy, but I don't understand how we as 334 million Americans are being held hostage by 2 dudes. I sent Carol an article from Wired, and the article says the United States is not a startup. And that's what Elon Musk is trying to do. He's trying to run this like a private business, whatever they say, what is it, run fast and break things, or whatever the little saying is, right? It's not a startup. This is the United States government. So when we're talking about, various agencies being dismantled that affect essential services that people rely upon, like, that's the thing that I don't understand from the standpoint of, even if you're a Republican, even if you're a fan of small government, the idea that the government is being dismantled, just the basic essential services are going to be dismantled, extraordinarily concerning to everyone across the political aisles, right? You can, I mean, theoretically, you can be a person who is a conservative, but who does not like the idea that the Constitution is being run roughshod by people who don't even have, an obligation because they're elected. Elon Musk, folks are not elected. They're tech oligarchs. And the problem is this government is going to be, completely eradicated down to the studs, just like this article says. They're going to rebuild it in their image in the way that is advantageous to them. And in the meantime, we're going to sit and debate every finer, granular issue of political strategy on how to approach it within the normal confines when they are not playing the normal game, right? It's like the kid when you play a game with the kid and they just refuse to abide by the rules and they do whatever they want and they declare themselves the winner. You either don't play with that kid, or if you end up having to give them the smoke, you give them the smoke. That's where we are. We cannot use the same mechanisms we normally use. And, I know I sound a little Don Quixote-ish, but I have no other way to say it beyond we are having two different realities. There's a reality where they are going in and looting the government, and we're sitting around hoping that they stop doing it. I don't understand how two dudes are holding an entire country hostage. I don't understand how there are not hundreds of thousands of people outside 1600 Pennsylvania demanding different action. I mean, frankly, I don't see how we as a society allow this to continue happening. Well, and maybe there's something I'm not considering, but
look, they voted for this crap. I mean, look again, it ain't like, Michael, as we keep saying, it ain't like they didn't tell us. They told us, and then he denied it. Well, I don't know anything about. I know nothing about Project 25. I don't know anything about that. Whatever. And again, and so that's why you see these people. Well, we didn't think he was going to go this far. And here's the deal. Listen, unlike last time, ain't no third term. So there's no. I can do whatever. Y'all can't do nothing to me. And by the way, y'all impeached me twice. And Republicans didn't convict me at all. So I'm good. When you give somebody that kind of power, a fool like this, he don't believe in lines. He believe in obliterating lines. Forget crossing lines, going to the edge. Nah, he like, I'm about to hop, skip, jump, parachute, bungee jump the fuck over these lines.
You know what's going to happen on the 4th of July? They're going to start talking about how this country was taken from tyranny by the American founders and how we should laud them and lionize them again, right? That is our core American ethos, that annually, July 4th, what do? We go out and talk about how they took this country from King George and they planted their flag. How are we allowing a tyrannical dictator who says he's going to be a dictator on day one, who will probably be talking about a third term sooner than later? I'm sorry, Roland, I disagree with you on that. I think that's absolutely what's coming, unless he's too old to continue on in the office. And we are acting like we're not at that point in terms of our democracy, our purported democracy. The idea that there are not people in the streets, like, you cannot just take the government from us, I don't understand. I really don't. And I don't know if it's just fear of discomfort. I don't know if it's fear of reprisal. But I know that 334 million is more than 2 mathematically. And how we have not become, pushed to action in a greater sense, I cannot understand it. Well, I don't think we have any political, normal mechanism to fight back.
And that's why. But that's why I don't want to hear that shit. I'm tired. I mean, it's tough. No, this ain't the moment to be tired.
Support the work that we do. Join our Bring the Funk fan club. You heard what we just talked about there. Folks, I can't reiterate this enough. Listen to me clearly. I cannot reiterate this enough. When you've got technology companies running scared, when you've got legacy media not doing their job, when you've got black-owned media that is disintegrated, now is more than ever for us to have independent media that cares about the truth, that is willing to say what needs to be said. So when you support Roland Martin Unfiltered, this show, when you support the Black Star Network, you're not just supporting me, you're supporting the other shows. Our goal is to add 2 more shows this year. We want additional shows. We want more weekly and daily shows because we want to be able to speak truth to power. We want to be able to say what is necessary where other people are scared. And when you are scared, when you're looking over your shoulder, oh my God, that advertising contract is not going to come in. Well, guess what? A lot of these major ad agencies, they're not even supporting us anyway. You know, in 6 years of doing this show, Group M hasn't done a damn thing with us. Publicis hasn't done anything with us. You've got Horizon, you've got all of these folks, they haven't done jack. And so we are calling it like we see it, and we're speaking truth. And unlike some of these other so-called progressives and people who believe in truth, I'm not running around trying to kiss MAGA ass and kiss Trump's ass. I won't be going to Mar-a-Lago, not for a damn thing. And so this is about us being able to speak truth. So when you support this show and this network with your resources, that is exactly what is happening, because we are trying to build something that is bigger and broader, and actually it has the courage to say what needs to be said, even when it makes other folk uncomfortable. If you want to contribute giving Cash App, use the Stripe QR code. This is it right here. And if you are listening, simply go to blackstarnetwork.com to check it out. Also, because you want to see your checking money order, some of y'all old school, we understand that. See your checking money order to P.O. Box 57196, Washington, D.C., 2003 7-0196. PayPal, R. Martin Unfiltered. Venmo is RM Unfiltered. Zelle, Roland at RolandSMartin.com, Roland at RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. And again, folks, we've got some 4 million social media followers. If only 20,000 of our fans contribute at least $50 each, which comes out to $4.19 a month, 13 cents a day, that's $1 million that allows us to be able to continue to build, to add these shows and do the work that's required. So your support is needed. So please join our Bring the Funk fan club today if you've not already joined. If you have given to us in the past, please renew your commitment, because it's important that we support Black-owned media, because Black-owned media matters.